Yeah, well, welcome. Glad to have both of you today for this podcast. So today we're talking with Fairmath, and I would like to, start with some introductions, your background, and also how you, got started in the FHE space.
Thank you. Nice to meet you. Thank you for inviting us. My name is Gurgen. I'm co-founder of Fairmath with Elvira. We started Fairmath 1.5 years ago, and we are focusing on developing solutions for FHE developers. We would like to make it easier to develop FHE applications. Why we started Fairmath? For the last maybe 8 years, I have been engaged in FHE projects from developers' side. And when you develop FHE application, the first problem you faced, it's not performance issue on FHE, it's not needs in compilers and etc. The first problem, you need somehow to understand how you will build your application. For building application, you need some components, which can be considered as basic building blocks. And every time when I develop new application, I face this issue. And I realized that I would like to build this library. And I started to build this library, but I collected some components, and initial plan was just to publish it as open source library. But I realized that just in one company or just only with myself, it's impossible to build rich library, and you need to community engagement. At the same time, I saw Kaggle platform, I saw iDash challenges, them about the program, and realized that we can build a platform who will combine everything, combine Kaggle approach for fully automated process of evaluation with transparency, combine FHE, because FHE provide pretty interesting properties to build such challenges. We will talk about a little bit later, but we started with building such library, and it was the first, I believe, point of starting Fairmath. I realized that I need someone who will be aligned with me, who I can trust, and it was Elvira. And Elvira, please.
Yes, earlier, almost all my career I dedicated to cybersecurity, and previously I worked a lot in cybersecurity field, in trainings, in product development, even though I don't have a technical background at all. But I worked a lot around community management, and when Gurgen, and that's where we met basically, many years ago, and became friends. And when he came up with this idea of Fairmath startup and explained me how FHE works, I thought, yes, it could be a good project to work on together. So we decided to launch Fairmath Challenges platform.
Great. I guess, could you give a brief description of what the Fairmath Challenge platform is, what people can do on it, and then how does it work in general?
Would you like to do it?
No, go on.
Fairmath is a platform for FHE challenges. We have two types of challenges. The main idea is we publish FHE challenges. The challenges is a request to develop some components. Components is, we consider components like some simple block, which can be simple like square root evaluation. At the same time, components may be more difficult, like, I don't know, sorting array. And we publish the challenges and ask people to develop solution, upload to the platform. On the platform side, depending on type of challenges, we evaluate submissions, we make some scoring, and publish immediately. We have real-time leaderboard where everyone can see their position. At the end of the challenge, we choose the winner. We choose it almost totally in automatic form, because during the challenge you have leaderboard, you see all participants can see the position. At the end of the challenge, we just need to contact the winner, recheck solution, ensure that everything according to the rules of the challenge, and pay for the prize and publish the winning solution as a component in our open source library, Polycircuit, without any limitations, license any limitations. So it's totally under Apache license. You can use it for commercial use, you can use it for non-commercial use. We save creator name, we save ownership, and yeah, we use this platform as a main source, as one of the main source of components for our main goal. And our main goal, this is components library for developers.
Now, I think what's interesting about your platform is you divide these challenges into two categories, black box and white box. Could you maybe explain what the differences are between these types of challenges? What does that entail in terms of like the types of challenges and how people submit? Yeah.
Right. There are two types of challenges. Black box is a very nice one. I really like this one because the participants need just to upload the cipher data. They don't need to disclose any information about their solution, and we automatically on Fairmath side evaluate it, the accuracy of it, and give back the results and show the place in the ranking. While white box challenges, there are some questions and some problems where we need not only to evaluate accuracy of the decision, but of the solution, but also the performance. So for this, we need to get and to see and evaluate the whole solution. So in this case, we need to see the whole solution with details and to look through and to evaluate it also automatically. But still there, the participants would share the solution in details.
This is interesting because very similar to ZK, where I don't care how you did it. You just need to prove that you are able to be more accurate, right? And because everything is hidden, you can sort of achieve a similar idea here.
It's pretty good property of FHE because I can provide you some ciphertext.
Yeah.
If we talk about schemes like CKSBFE, it's packet ciphertext, which means that inside I have packed a lot of data. Ask you to evaluate some function. You can evaluate this function, provide me result in ciphertext. I can decrypt it and see the result. And this result can be considered as some kind of proof, because just randomly guess correct value is pretty difficult.
Yeah.
It's impossible, I would say. If
Yeah.
you have more than 8,000 slots,
yeah.
and you need to randomly guess value for each slot, you have... On the platform, we don't have any limitations, so you can upload as much as you want. You can upload every second, every day, without any limitations. But at the end, we will see your result, we will see your source code. So it looks like it will be...
That's actually a very nice thing about Fairmath platform, is that you have unlimited number of attempts to make your solution better than others, because you see that at some point in any other challenges, normally you submit your result and then you wait for it's being compared to others, and then you know whether you won or lost. And here it's like the challenge, normally it depends, but more or less the duration of each challenge is like 2 or 3 months, right? It depends on the topic. But then yes, you the real time can see if anyone found the solution that is more performing than your solution, and it like press you to go and to work on your solution and make it better and try to be in the first place.
So it's a real-time competition.
Yeah.
Oh, someone else figured out something better than mine. Mm-hmm. Now let me try to outcompete.
Yeah. It's one of the main ideas. It's totally real time. You can upload your solution, you can see your result. You see not only your result, you see a result from other participants.
Yeah.
And based on this approach, we utilize, when we say that we utilize competition-based model, why it's very important? Because let's imagine you upload your solution and you see that your solution for the moment is the best. You can relax for some time.
Yeah.
Until someone else will upload new solution which will be better for you, better than your. And in this moment, you have two information. The first one, that you are not the winner right now, and you have a risk to not get prize. The second one, you have proof that your solution can be improved. And you can go and think how you can improve your solution. And we already saw that this model, this approach works on our first challenges. For example, one of the challenges on the platform was sign evaluation. We requested to evaluate sign function, which is very important for Web3, for Web2 world. And one of the typical way to do it, evaluate some polynomial approximation. When you just build polynomial, who try to approximate what you want. And existing solution inside FHE libraries, some standard method, provided 88% of accuracy. And after publishing a few test cases, we saw that some participants upload solutions with 91% of accuracy. Then we had some period of time without new submissions, included these participants, but 1 week, maybe later, one new participant uploaded solution with 92% of accuracy.
Yeah.
And since this point, we saw everyday competition between two participants. And at the end, we got components for sign evaluation with 98% accuracy.
Oh, wow.
And this is motivation. So participants motivate each other to improve their solution.
Yeah. It's almost like the Roger Bannister effect, which, the first person who I think ran 4 miles in under a couple of minutes. Before that, nobody thought it was possible until the first guy did it. And then some people tried to top this, right? Or catch up to it very quickly. I think it's very cool. I guess one question here is, who are these participants? Like who participate in these challenges typically?
Our vision here that, to develop a FHE application, in fact, it's not needed to be an FHE expert, because you can explain for developers that it's easy. How? In general, when you develop a FHE application, the only thing you have to know the basis and limitations you have. And you can explain to anyone, please develop me a function using only multiplication and addition. Depends on the scheme, maybe some additional operations. And with not more than 8 multiplication in a row. That's all. And based on it, you can go and develop algorithm component for application.
Interesting.
And the answer is currently, in fact, to develop a FHE application, you need to work with a FHE library, and there is opinion that you need to know about FHE more. But in fact, and what we are trying to do explains that it's not needed. It's much easy, and moreover, if you develop a component, you need to have experience in some specific domain, not in FHE. FHE just tools. So if you develop a machine learning application, you have to be an expert in machine learning, not in FHE.
Yeah, because a lot of these FHE circuits are already abstracted away in a way that most developers will be able to utilize these libraries and just achieve these, complete these challenges, right?
So basically, it's not only for cryptographers. It's for machine learning. It's for anyone that is somehow connected to privacy, interested in it. So it's a lot of profiles can and backgrounds can participate in Fairmath. That's very nice. Another very good thing about it,
Maybe to take a step back, who pose these challenges? Like, are they companies? Why? What's the motivation for them to pose these challenges? And do they give out some kind of reward, bounty? Like, how do they set up these challenges?
We have a pool of questions and pool of topics that we would like to cover within the challenges and to find a solution to some really important FHE problems that we would like to add to our component library. But then, of course, we are open to anyone come and say, hey, we're interested. We have a question, like we have a problem that we would like to solve and push through Fairmath. So we are open to new collaborations. Currently, we're working with IBM. Would you like to tell more about the challenge that we posted?
Yeah, for sure. As Elvira mentioned, our goal is to we don't have some limitations. We have some roadmap for challenges, which we decided based on our vision, our committee. At the same time, we're totally open to collaborate with community to publish new challenges. But important thing here to mention, we're not open for company who would like just try to outsource inner work for our platform. Because two important things about challenges. The first one, it should be really interesting for community, not for only a specific company. The second one, all solutions should be open source. And we claim it in our terms. If we put challenge on the platform, the result, we committed to publish the result in open source and Apache license without limitations. Currently we work with, we have challenge developed with IBM, parity challenge. Also very important challenge because open, if you can do, it's parity challenge. So it's challenge to determine last significant bit. If you can do it, theoretically, you can do a lot of interesting things. You can do what's called lookup table. You can find a lot of important application in blockchain, in machine learning, etc. And yeah, we are open to collaborate with community, to publish new challenges, but with these limitations we mentioned.
Got it. Could you maybe explain a little bit more about the business model of Fairmath with this platform?
Fairmath doesn't have any business model.
Okay.
We don't make money with Fairmath. Publish challenge is free, so if we publish some joint challenge like with IBM, other companies who publish challenge from ourselves, we don't, it's free for the company. We don't make money, we don't have business model inside. As I mentioned, we don't consider platform as a place for outsource, and just to make it more clear for community, for audience, we claim it in terms that we will publish everything open source without limitations. Yeah, Fairmath without business model. It's just for community, for developers. We believe that if we will accelerate wide adoption of FHE, everyone
will benefit.
Yeah.
And you are very neutral. You work with different companies, libraries. As long as they have interesting challenges, they can come to you and then you can help them set up these challenges.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Regarding companies, we're open to discuss with everyone. Independent, you are in FHE world, know about FHE libraries. Currently, we supported 2 libraries, FHE and Latigo. At the same time, we open to add new libraries if it's needed.
And if there is a demand from the community, because sometimes, Latigo was added this way. You guys came asking us if we can edit, and we edited it. So,
Very cool. Now, I can imagine some challenges people might use different solutions or libraries. Are there any FHE benchmarking problems on that end?
It's one of the strong challenge. And this is why currently we publish new challenges supporting 2 libraries, but we were rating totally different, so totally different scoring, and we will choose 2 winners, 1 winner for OpenFHE, 1 winner for Latigo. Why we do this way? Because despite the fact that we can work with one FHE scheme, like CTKS, BFE, etc., there are a lot of different implementation. And it's very difficult to determine the fair way, which will be transparent and clear for participant and for us too, how to compare results submitted with OpenFHE to results submitted with Latigo.
And I assume there's also the hardware, right? Which hardware are you using? Because that could give you better metrics or better results, right? If you have faster hardware or better hardware.
It makes sense only for white box challenges.
Yeah.
We are trying to provide some. This is why I don't, to be honest, like white box challenges, because there are a lot of such things: hardware, software implementation, and the problem that you can have two solutions.
Yeah.
One will be really nice and really new, state of the art, as one will be not so good, but with good implementation.
Yeah.
And with good implementation, with parallelization, with right way to use hardware, etc., this solution may be better on the leaderboard. We can totally make it fully transparent.
Yeah.
And regarding hardware, we currently evaluate white box challenges in Docker. We provide full explanation about Docker image. We provide this in Docker image. Everyone can try to do it. But yeah, there are a lot of very sensitive questions which we can't elaborate totally.
Yeah. So when I was studying engineering, LeetCode is like a platform to submit. You have a challenge. Find the shortest path, and then you submit your answer. I remember they had something very similar to a competition where they will run it, right? And then they will benchmark against everyone else, right? Maybe you found the most optimal solution, and then you can appear on some kind of leaderboard. So I guess like down the line, you guys will provide something probably similar where you will evaluate people's answers directly, and then you'll be the fair platform, right? Then people don't have to think about hardware differences. It's more about the quality of the code, of the circuits, things like that, right?
Our initial goal and our ultimate goal, we would like to eliminate this factor, because when you're developing a FHE application, for us, more interesting thing is new algorithm, new way to build it. And to be honest, in general, from a asymptotic point of view, if you have good algorithm, it will be the best one. But the problem here is that people who can invent really interesting algorithm sometimes can't implement it in the FHE library right way, and maybe some bottleneck, maybe some incorrect using of key generation, etc. For example, we had one of solution which requested evaluation key, and generating evaluation key takes a lot of time. And this time is lost to final performance. But the solution was the best.
I see. Yeah, it seems like there's quite a bit of a few challenges that you have to think yourself as a platform to make it fair for all the submissions. What are some ongoing challenges today that you are the most excited about that people can solve?
Yeah, the image challenge out of my mind. CFAR 10 challenge, where we need to define the class of the image, the encrypted image. This is the best one. I think it's the most exciting challenge that we have at the moment. But at the same time, we're planning to add new challenges every month, so several more coming shortly. And of course, we will be announcing it, and there will be more coming.
Cool. Kind of curious to know, I mean, there are obviously a lot of libraries nowadays, not different schemes. What do you think will happen 3 to 5 years from now in this FHE space? Do you think some libraries will converge, some will merge, there will be a few dominant ones? Just kind of curious, because you guys work with a lot of different companies, different schemes, sort of like how you see this evolve over time.
In my personal opinion, about FHE libraries, I believe we will have some major players. I consider OpenFHE, TFHE from Zama, and Latigo as the most popular and probably these major players, but we'll see. I don't know, because based on our current experience, we can see that CL library from Microsoft, which was developed a few years ago, currently is not supported. I'm not sure that, for example, different libraries like OpenFHE and Latigo may be merged because they just use different stacks, different languages, etc. But I think we will have some major players because it's not needed to have 10 FHE libraries.
Yeah. How do you evaluate these different libraries and schemes, right? Like, what are sort of like the key metrics that people should care about? Like, whether it's like the efficiency, the security, could be, maybe like how easy is it to use them? What are the features they support? Like, I guess like what are some pros and cons that you see today with the existing libraries? The few ones that you mentioned, TFHERS, Latigo, OpenFHE. Like, how should people think about which schema library to choose and use?
It's the most hard question for developer when you need to develop a FHE application. Moreover, if you are not a FHE developer and you have some task to develop to add privacy in your in your solution, how to choose library, how to choose scheme. About scheme, I will start with the scheme. It may looks more simple because depends on what you are building, depends on data type you are working on, depends on should you use packing, should you work with exact number, or is it possible, or it's possible to work with approximate arithmetic. You more or less can make decision because currently we have maybe 3 or 4 modern schemes: BFE, BGV, CKKS, TFHE, and each of them good choice for some special kind of task. About library, it depends again on what you need. The most simple way just to choose based on language you would like to use and stack. Because OpenFHE, Latigo, TFHE use different stacks. So, for example, OpenFHE is mostly based on C++, Latigo is a Go library, TFHE is a Rust version. At the same time, they differ in supported libraries. And there is no some universal answer how to choose. I think it's also some state-of-the-art work to choose scheme and library. Because, for example, how to choose between BFE and BGV. They are very, very similar, and they have different performance, depends on parameters, etc.
I guess we're early, right? It's like, how do you choose between Golang, Rust, JavaScript, or Python, right? If you want to build a certain application, or whether it's front and back end, right? These will probably become more clear over time. You mentioned OpenFHE is C++. There is an initiative to turn that into Rust. Could you maybe just kind of like explain a little bit more why Rust? Why is there interest in expanding this to Rust?
OpenFHE basically developed with C++. The core of library is C++ library. At the same time, for OpenFHE, you have, for the moment, you have Python wrapper, which means that you can develop in Python. You have WASP support. And currently in Fairmath, we are developing Rust support for OpenFHE. Why we started to do it? Because in the market of FHE library, you don't have FHE library which supports Rust FHE library which supports all modern scheme production ready. And this is the first point. The second point, during the first batch of our challenges, we got a lot of requests from participants. Please, I would like to develop solution with Rust,
Yeah.
and I will not develop in C++.
Yeah.
I hate C++, etc. And this is unique feature of Rust, because people who develop with Rust, they will not use C++ or other languages.
Yeah, I can totally see that, and the same reason why we use Solidity for in Go instead of a different language. It's just like the most adopted, easier to use language for smart contract developers. What's roughly the timeline for this initiative, like to complete this Rust library?
I think we have to publish the first version in Q2. I think we will be able to do it in the first part of Q2. So when we say Q2, we don't mean the end of the last month of the Q2. So I believe, I hope we will be able to do it in coming months.
Cool. Yeah, that's pretty soon. And you are sponsoring also ZK Day pretty soon. What do you hope to see there? Like, ideally, like, what are you most excited about to see people build during this hackathon?
We're still discussing what kind of hackathon and what the topic will be, and whether we can use Fairmath for this or build something else, not based on the Fairmath platform. But of course, it's important for us to be the part of the developer community and to participate in these activities. And Fairmath, it's a kind of a hackathon in itself. So that's why we decided it's very important to support such kind of initiatives.
Yeah.
And to prepare maybe some specific challenge that will work for ZK Hack. Yeah.
And one of our goals why we're sponsoring ZK, we would like to explain people, we would like to help mass adoption of FHE.
Yeah.
And ZK Hack is a good place with good audience where we will have opportunity to explain, and based on challenges we will publish on ZK Hack, we would like to say that and to show that FHE is more simple that you can solve before, etc.
Yeah. Also, I guess all the big brains, right, in the crypto space also love ZK, so definitely can attract all of the talents to be interested in exploring FHE. Beside hardware acceleration, right, what are some other challenges or things that you think should be solved in order for FHE to be widely adopted?
In my opinion, we have two main challenges. We don't consider, as you mentioned, performance, because I believe this issue will be solved. It's not a big problem. And moreover, for a lot of cases, performance is not an issue. Like in your case, in blockchain, in some machine learning algorithms, it's okay. Two problems. The first one, we need FHE developers community. So developing FHE applications should be simple. And this is what we're working on. The second thing is users on market side, because we need to explain people why they need privacy, not only FHE privacy. The third problem is when some company, some service decided to use FHE. It's not just plug-in solution when you just added privacy for some protocol and all happy. No, immediately with this step, you will lost a lot of data. For example, I was working for some ride-hailing company and we developed solution for privacy preserving ride-hailing. And the problem here is that when you implement privacy preserving ride-hailing, you lost a lot of analytics. And it's true for all area. If you want privacy, you have to pay, and pay not only with performance, you will pay with data. And this is the issue. Other thing which is important, in my opinion, is verifiability in FHE.
Yeah.
Because in general use case, which is often considered a simple way, you are the owner of data, you send your data to the cloud will receive, return to you. It doesn't work with FHE well, because when you work with open data, you send your data to the cloud sends you result. Both of you can check that computation was correct. But if for some reason I got a result from the cloud and I don't want to pay, I'm malicious or I'm not honest, I say that computation incorrect, I will not pay. How to check it?
Yeah.
The simple way just to share the secret key, but you break the idea of FHE because you need to access. And verifiability is also a main problem. And moreover in blockchain, when you totally entrust everyone, how to do it?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. This is still an open challenge. And one last question around maybe, just tie back to, why do you think, what excites you about FHE in Web3 specifically? Like, could be use cases, could be just kind of the potential of it. What are you most bullish on about FHE in Web3?
For me, despite the fact that I engaged in FHE for the last 8 years, each use cases, each real world FHE use cases looks like magic.
Yeah.
And in Web3 world, all use cases very interesting. And I don't know, I can't choose someone because just opportunity to work with private data in smart contract and solve the most important problem in blockchain, which is privacy. It looks pretty nice.
And you'd like to share one interesting use case or something you're most excited about FHE Web3?
FHE overall, like I said, I'm not the technical person.
Yeah.
However, the idea of how FHE works is just so fascinating. I think it can solve so many problems. And yeah, around privacy, I'm looking forward how this area will be developing, and I think that all the initiatives of other companies, of what you are doing to evangelizing and to spreading the word around what is FHE, why it can be useful, is so important. And I believe that it will be widespread, technology in upcoming years.
Yeah, we're all working in this industry, very excited about the potential of it. I guess one last question, any upcoming announcements on your roadmap, products, or anything that you'd like to share with the audience that they should pay attention to with Fairmath?
It depends on when this podcast will be published, but looking back or looking forward, currently we're adding new great feature on the platform. We called it track. Currently we have just challenges, you solve one challenges, but in most cases you can consider some complex tasks and divide these complex tasks in some sub-challenges. And we will add what we call track. Track is some set of challenges which will solve one general ultimate goal.
Interesting. So it's almost like milestones, small milestones to solve a bigger problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can divide. You would like to solve some big challenge. You divide it to some small challenge, and you have some milestone. You can see the progress. So you can publish some unsolved for the moment challenge and see the progress in solving this challenge.
Very cool. I guess one last thing, if people want to learn more about Fairmath, where should they go?
Yeah, we have all information on our website, Twitter, LinkedIn page, all the announcements can be found there. We will publish definitely new challenges and we will announce them. We will be in Eurocrypt in Zurich, so everyone who are there, we're happy to meet in person. Zika in Krakow also in May. And of course, the Ethereum Community Conference in Brussels. We will be happy to speak at in FHE Summit.
Cool.
To organize. Perfect.
Yeah, very exciting. Yeah, well, thank you so much for taking time today. It was great learning more about Fairmath. And then, yeah, have a good one.
Thank you very much for inviting us.
Thank you so much for having us.